answer? Well, NASA's been working on the answer for a number of years, and we're coming very close to a final design of what a space station for the free world should look like. And I'll show you behind me on the bulkhead an artist's concept of the space station Freedom. It will eventually look something like this, although we'll start very small and build up over a number of assembly flights. I talked about the space shuttle being limited on electrical power because it has to carry up hydrogen fuel and oxygen fuel in tanks and combine those. Obviously, solar energy from the sun is unlimited if we can tap that, and the principal element of the space station would be huge solar arrays that you see extended out here on the end of this truss work. And in this particular concept, the truss is maybe 500 feet from tip to tip. And each of these solar arrays maybe would produce 8 kilowatts or so of electrical power, so something like 50 to 75 kilowatts total. And let me remind you that your home, if you live in Houston in the summer, probably runs 2 to 3 kilowatts. So that's a lot of electrical power. And it would provide an unlimited amount of power to do science like we're doing today with the astro telescopes or the broadband X-ray telescope, microgravity research, any number of investigations that we have yet to think of. The principal habitation modules in this concept are in the center. Each of these is about half the size of the payload bay and get carried up by a space shuttle, as you see in the picture, docking with Space Station Freedom. The space shuttle brings up supplies, brings up crews of up to 8 people. This program, the Space Station Freedom, is an international partnership with our international partners, the European Space Agency providing one of the laboratory modules, the Japanese Space Agency providing another laboratory module. The Canadians are providing the robotic devices that are outside the space station and help with maintenance and assembly of the space station. And as partners in this program, we will have European astronauts, Japanese astronauts, Canadian astronauts flying with us in this space station mission. We expect to start assembling this large space station by carrying up the first small pieces in about 1995, and then over the next 5 years or so, gradually build more and more capability into this system, initially manning it with maybe a crew of 4 people, but eventually by the turn of the century, we think we'll be up to crews of 8 people staying as long as 6 months at a time in this station. And it's a very exciting prospect for future science and space technology. We see this as a gateway to the universe to add those last pieces of knowledge that we need, that we have to get by coming out here. It's very fragile Earth and gather information on systems that we depend on so heavily for our own livelihood. And eventually, in the long run, when we go back to the moon, when we go on to Mars, I think this will be the stopping point. This is where we will go and get in the real spaceship that goes on to those further destinations. It's a very exciting program. In fact, most of this crew has been involved in the past and expects to be involved in the future in the design development of Space Station Freedom, in further into production, and hopefully we'll get to help build and fly this thing. And for any of you high school, junior high age, or elementary school students out there that might be watching, let me suggest this is a very exciting area that we will need a lot of help in the years ahead. And I'd encourage you to study hard, especially the science and math subjects, because we will need your help in the future, and I think it will be a very exciting future for the Space Station Freedom. Thank you.